Spiky Bits. Make sure you stay in the trenches. Help keep our channel ad-free by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.
What's up, Hobby Maniacs? Rob Baer here today with a look at the new White Dwarf. This is issue 121, and if you're into Age of Sigmar and Warhammer Quest, this is a great issue for you. So coming in fresh is all of the new models for, well, not necessarily new, we'll go with the repackaged models for Warhammer Quest. It's called Mighty Heroes, and it's got 4 new heroes that we've already seen, or I guess character level models that we've seen from Age of Sigmar, in the last year, basically reboxed at a discount, almost 50%, actually, I think it is 50%, and presented with some rules and such for you to play using Warhammer Quest Silver Tower. So they're really coming in hot. They kind of, they took a lot of flack. Sometimes they're like, hey, your price is too much. I can get Descent from Fantasy Flight for $100, discounted down to whatever, depending on where you get it from. But at the end of the day, and some people are like, yo, Kickstarters, you get expansions, but they follow up Warhammer Quest, with this new expansion here, called Mighty Heroes. So it's kind of like, almost like they're listening and they're aware of things, but they're kind of like Apple in that regards, that their stuff is going to be a higher price point just in general, because it is Games Workshop, all hobbies are expensive, etc., etc. But when you compare it to apples to things like Descent or Rebellion for Star Wars or something like that, you're never going to see the per model value, I feel like. But they do stuff like this where they take and they rebox things, like this guy's 30, I think that guy was 25, 30, and 30. So it's right around $100 retail for $55. I feel like you're getting a deal there, you know what I mean? This guy's pretty dope. I wish there was a way to turn him into like a Saint Celestine or something for Warhammer 40k. Sorry, I always come up with Warhammer 40k conversions when I look at Age of Sigmar, guys. It's just the way I am. It's just the way I'm wired. I'm sorry, guys. But they look great. We've seen all these guys in the past, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on them. But what I do want to talk about is they showcase the new rules for a lot of the guys, the Denzians of the Silver Tower. You got the Minotaur guy right there that I still can't say the name of, but I understand the background behind it and how to pronounce it. I just don't want to. I totally know how to say it. So what I really like is that now they've got basically plastic blue horror models that we haven't seen in the past. They had those great, well, I guess there is a couple on one of the Tzeentch chariots, but that kind of doesn't count, I guess. So there's those, and then when they split, so you got the pink horrors. They split down to the blue horrors. They split down to the little brimstone horrors, which I think is just kind of neat. That's kind of like a new bit of fluff. I don't remember that one. But look at the librarian guy. Like, where's he at? Man, that guy right there, like, I almost want to buy a box set just for that dude and have him be like your Tzeentch Herald or something like that. That guy just looks dope. Like, look, he's got little books. He's like screaming. He's like, I shoot magic missile into darkness. Like some sort of crazy shit. I just love that guy right there. I think he's pretty dope. And then it goes into a showcase of the more, and more of the models that come in there. I love these little familiars. These are, they had these guys way back in the day in the Rogue Trader era. They just kind of put them out. They didn't really do anything. They called them familiars, but they didn't really have a task and purpose, so to speak, until now, where they're part of this box game. And of course, you can use them as a Chaos Familiar in 40k or something like that, or a Spell Familiar or something in Age of Sigmar maybe. But I just think it's neat to see some of these older models in here kind of come back and make a resurgence. And then they go over some of the art and stuff, some of the Blanche artwork, and just some gameplay and things like that. But, overall, I feel like, and I really like that art there, like the whole Labyrinth of Tzeentch. You got the Fate Weaver, and then I guess that's just a Lord of Change right there. And it's just kind of like, hey, choose your own adventure if you dare, mortal, kind of type deal. There is a paint splatter article in here. It's basically on, I think, some of the Zinch Birdman guys. It was okay. I mean, this is a decent issue if you're just into the hobby in general. But I don't feel like, there's a whole lot of, like, air quotes content if you're not really into the Silver Tower or Age of Sigmar, I feel like, but I think we're going to see a lot more of that going forward. And, people are like, oh man, I really want my 40K releases, but hey, look at it this way, pick up 30K. Like, they're going to be coming out, Forge World's going to be dropping all sorts of stuff over the next year or so. So, if you really got to get that fix, pick up your Betrayal at Cal, subscribe to us, help support us out over on Patreon, and we're giving away Horus Heresy squads right now. Pick it up, get started, and that way you won't be disappointed if there isn't a whole lot of air quotes 40K releases this summer and it's all Age of Sigmar. Now, this paint splatter is actually pretty decent. I like all the different stuff in here. And it isn't exclusively on the bad guys. They got some bad guy stuff, but they also show you how to do the Excelsior War Priest, which got some really dope reds in here and some blues and stuff. The combinations that look really good together, obviously. And then there's the stuff we already talked about. So the teaser is something about technicals. I don't know if that means, technical paint or a new release coming out. And then there's just very general here. Next issue, Hall of Fame, Army of the Month, Paint Splatter, and more. Well, we would really like to know what the more is, I feel like right there. But they're not necessarily going to tell us. So there is what it is, I suppose. So that's it for this one. It didn't, there's not a whole lot to talk about in this one. Unfortunately, I sat down and I went through the Age of Sigmar one last time. It was about 15-20 minute video. So I feel like, we're kind of getting off a little cheap on this one. I apologize, but it's just not a whole lot in here, guys and gals. But, hopefully next week, we get some more sweet hobby content. Lots more to talk about as Games Workshop winds down their fiscal year here going into June 1.